Good morning, 22nd of April 2020. Now, 6 weeks confinement due to coronavirus. We have seen 2.5 million people infected and 700,000 cured. So the gap is growing and growing. It is clear that the policy regarding the deterrent towards the coronavirus is not working. We have seen in Germany today how they do exams, the kids, with the distance, social distance, and preventive health preventive means. Also, we have seen Emirates, how they do flights in previously with tests, and then the safety distance in the plane. Of course, certain services have been now deterred, as then the tray, so it is only one personal contact to give you a bag with the food, that's it. But it is possible to work under this health prevention system. It is really very clear that the maritime industry is a key element and that we are reducing cost, improving constantly the services that we provide with more transparency, and that the digital way that we work, it has to be expanded towards all the public administrations, because every time they have a press conference, the virus is spreading. Every time there is a bodyguard, every time there is new meeting, there is a table and another table, they are spreading, multiplying the virus. So this is why we have in capitals such a high degree of this coronavirus, because the local governments and the central governments are there. So they are the ones guilty to spreading this coronavirus. Then also associations, the videos I made before about associations in the world are becoming very popular. A lot of you students are really interested in definition of why there's so many associations, why none of them publish intrinsic value per year, which is statistically comparable to the, say, business associations in Finland, in Holland, in USA, in other countries. Well, another coincidence of this COVID is the statistical match between the civil wars in USA and Spain, that now USA and Spain are number one again. So this is one statistical link that should be analyzed, because the lambs pay this and the wolves, the digital wolves, are the ones that are surviving. We also see nowadays that the prime ministers, whenever it is female, like in Finland, in New Zealand, in Iceland, they are the most effective with this pandemic. This is something very interesting. It looks like females are much more interested in the health of the lambs, in the health of the humans, than men are. So this is something that we have to look after. Now we also have the pollution, that working from home has been reduced and that it is making us breathe really freely and really under no pollution. Madrid, for example, used to have a cloud of pollution, and now this one is gone. This is an area of interest for the future. Then also now we hope that next week the kids start to go to the streets. This is really very serious measure, because still in the world we do not have transparency of testing for all of us. It is not possible that the governments requisition the test that private companies cannot supply a job. The most interesting thing that I heard from the news lately is the Emirates policy for a flight is if you have a job, we are testing you, we are making you fly. And this is how the coronavirus should work. If you have a job, you are ready for a test, yes, but we have to look at private small and medium companies that have the jobs. Private small and medium companies employ 90%, they need a 5% tax globally, and they have the jobs. No one is talking about this old people rate of death. No one is talking about when we get the test, because perhaps we already passed it, we are immune, and we are not going to pass it to another person. So why is my business closed? Why can't my restaurant be open today and go back to business? This really, governors are not taking into account the collateral damage they are making to the world economy. They cannot continue to stop jobs creation, but to stop people staying at home and not really making production, making utility. In economics, we, the economists, have a thing called utility, and the opposite of utility is called inutility. It's very simple. It's not with the respective way that you mention it, but it is simply a fact. So you have positive numbers, negative numbers, and you have utility, small medium companies that provide 90% of the world employment, that are discriminated in tax, that are discriminated in procedures and policies and bureaucracy, and not simplified areas that they need to have contracts for the personnel, the taxes, simple, effective. If you want to fire someone, if you want to increase the wages, if you want to go social security, if you want to do a private plan, if you want to do victoring, if you want to give pluses like they used to have 125 years ago, my great-grandfather, Captain Antonio Candina, started from being a cadet at sea to being second officer. Well, before he was the third officer, then chief officer, captain, ship owner, partner, having a ship owner building, and then creating this company that I have the honor of managing today after 4 generations. So it is really a way that how this really a small and medium company, which could be 1 employee, all the way up to, in the US they say 500, in Europe they say 50. It is really the interest the governors have into definition of small and medium companies. They don't really care, because they don't define if it is 50 or 500. They are just not bothered about you giving jobs everywhere else in the world. If you are a seafarer, if you are an officer, you are also one small and medium company of 1 person. So you must have transparency of taxes, bureaucracy, how you do basic courses. All these simplified areas have to be done throughout the economy. I hope that this video really helps you analyze how these small and medium companies are positive in the future, and that we are very focused into definition that these are the key areas, not what they tell you whilst they spread the virus. No, just think about yourself, focus in your intrinsic value. You must focus in yourself and be how competitive you can be. Now, if you are of a platform of an association, if you are of a platform of a group of interest, then in the area of competence, you must really push forward this. If you are a seafarer, now is the time to get to the associations, to get cheaper basic training, to get more convenient training online to get very fast and reliable transferences and transparent enlistment contracts, improve your insurance, and these are the areas that we have to work today. In the brain, this COVID is making us stay at home. Now, we cannot compete like we used to compete in day-to-day basis, no, because now we have to make use of one thing that we have forgotten and lost, and that's called the brain. Thank you. Bye.